Hello everyone and welcome to Frostbite0707's guide, monster guide to Dark Cloud's Divine Beast Cave, the first dungeon of the game. Here I will explain stats and information about the various monsters of Divine Beast Cave. Each section will be 30 seconds, so I have to be quick or else the video will skip. So let's move on. First is the cave bat. The cave bat is the weakest and most basic monster in the game. It is recommended to either go in swinging so it doesn't have a chance to hit you, or use a long-range weapon such as Zio's slingshot, or weapons of two other characters in the game. Bats are weak and hard to hit as it is, so there is no weakness recorded. The only thing to take notice is that it's really hard to hit, and that there's a possibility of poison if you get hit by it. Skeleton Soldier is the second monster in the game and the first undead monster. Plainly a level 1 undead. This monster, as well as other undead types, are weak to the holy attribute. While this bad guy is only basic, it's a good idea to take note of this one's ability. It's the first monster to block, and its revivability allows it to come back after you kill it. The Dasher is the first beast monster of the game. It is very well known for its charge attack, where it runs into you, hits you once with its mace, and runs away. With a decent weapon such as a crisp knife, Shamshir, and others of that level, Dasher can be fairly easy to kill. The first Dasher is a plain level 1 beast monster, but in the second game it's introduced as the level 2 beast monster, Ram. Did I say that too fast? Next up we have Yamchi. It's an undead monster. Not much is known about this except for its drill attack. He's very easy to kill and shows up in very early levels of the Divine Beast Cave. As for his weakness, it's holy, for he's an undead monster. This monster is one of the most recurring monsters of this game series. He shows up in a few dungeons and in this game and as well as the next. The Mimic is by far the most recurring game of the entire series. There's two types of mimics in each dungeon in both games. It is also one of the most annoying monsters in the game because it disguises itself as a treasure chest, and you only have a small window to attack it before it defends, and basically renders your weapon useless until it lowers its guard again. And if you hit it while it defends, it can do some damage to your weapon HP. The dog statue is the second stone monster you meet, and is easy to defeat with a decent weapon, but is recommended to use short-range weapons because if you are too far away from it, it goes into a box form which renders all attacks against it useless until you move up close to it and it unfolds. That's a mouthful. The Master Jacket is the second undead monster that you find. You first meet it in a duel at level 4, I believe. It is the same as the Skeleton Soldier, only its abilities are stronger. It blocks more and defends against most, if not all, ranged attacks. And when he blocks, he has a high defense, so he can do some damage to your weapon HP when he blocks. The statue is the first stone monster you encounter, and it can be a real pain if you don't know what you're doing. When you get into attacking range, the statue starts to swing at you, and you have time for 2 to 3, and if you're lucky, 4 slashes at him. Only a very good weapon for that level can kill him before he hits you. He also has a notably high defense, which renders weak weapons such as base blade and dagger useless if not ineffective. Leopard is a slow enemy that sticks out like a sore thumb. He has only 2 attacks. One is a body slam and the other is a mist that gives you gooey status if it touches you. Now a good player can maneuver around its attacks and get up close and kill it without getting hurt. But despite that, I recommend to use Zio to attack it while outside its range for easy kill. The Ghost is the first mage enemy you encounter in the game. It has a melee attack where it claws you and has a chance to poison you, as well as a shadow ball attack which is long range. Its other abilities teleport, which I haven't seen him do often unless you're a good distance away and inside of it, or within its sight. Like some other monsters, if you know what you're doing, it can be easy to kill them, but if you don't, it can kill you pretty easily as well. The dragon is the first dragon-type monster of the game. Its attacks consist of a headbutt and a fireball. While it's a good idea to keep your distance and attack from afar, at this point in the game, Zio's weapons aren't exactly strong enough to do real damage, for its HP is very high. Experts say to dodge its attacks and get close enough to wail on them with tone, so I suggest if you're going to do this, use a fairly powerful weapon on hand, so there aren't as many mess-ups. Such weapons include a Shamshir. Roknov is, in my opinion, by far the hardest enemies to kill. Because of its rolling attack, you barely have any time at all to hit it. So try using Zio or the strategy below, which involves locking on, waiting for him to roll towards you, and then using a charge attack at the last second. Be sure to be charging it beforehand or else you're going to get killed. He's weak to Stonebreaker and it's recommended. King Mimic is a mama mimic that hides in big treasure chests. There's a higher chance to find these in big treasure chests than small mimics in small chests. Many a time you will head eagerly to a big chest hoping for some zombie thwarting super weapon and instead find yourself facing one of these giants. This guy defends himself much less often and can do some real damage to you and your party members. Divine Beast Strand is the boss of Divine Beast Cave and the guardian of Nurun Village. When fighting him, you need to use a combined effort of both Zio and Tone. Use Zio to shoot him while he's in the air, so he starts to stumble to the ground. Attack him with Tone or a bomb, and if you attack him with Zio while he's down, he will charge at you. Other than this attack, he has two others. One is a bite attack, which I rarely see him use, unless you're really close, and the other is a fireball attack, which destroys the ground. Experts recommend running around the edge so that if he uses his ability, it doesn't destroy the ground, or at least the important ground. And this has been my monster guide. See you next time for the next level.